Good evening, everyone. Welcome to class. We're going to start seated. If you can sit comfortably in hero pose, then sit on your heels. We're going to face the purple wall, so you can face towards the wall, away from the mirror. Again, if you can sit comfortably on your heels, hero virasana, you can sit there. You might wedge a block between your heels. That might make you a little more comfortable. But if that's just not working for you, then just cross the ankles, sit sukhasana. That's perfectly acceptable as well. Rest the hands in the lap. Relax the shoulders down and back. Close the eyes. The tailbone lengthen in towards the floor. Draw the base of the skull gently up so that you lengthen the back of the neck just a touch. And then the chin draws in. So you're inviting this length into the spine. Become aware of your breath. I love the practice of yoga and what it represents in my life, which is kind of an opportunity to awaken a little bit more, to become a little more conscious, a little more present, a little more aware of our inner self, of the part of us that isn't that chitter-chatter mind, that stress layer of our being. Helps us to kind of drop into a deeper, more authentic place. We consider what that means for you, that waking up. It's said that when the compassionate Buddha entered a town, he radiated such security and joy that crowds began to gather around him to gaze at his face. Blessed one, they would ask timidly, "Are you God?" "No," he would say. "Are you an angel?" "No," he would say. "Are you a prophet?" "No." "Then what are you?" His response, "I am awake." So it brings us to that remembrance that we can awaken to this level of enlightenment within ourselves. And by just being here in a practice of yoga, perhaps that means you're already on that journey yourself. Let's find the palms together at the heart center. Considering your intentions behind your practice. Remembering that where your attention goes, energy flows. So it's just like planting that seed. Begin to turn on your Ujjayi pranayama, steady, audible inhales and exhales. And we'll bless our practice with one round of our mantra, Om. Let's take a full inhale and exhale. And then inhaling fully. Keeping the eyes closed, find your knees with your palms. So just reach your hands down to take your knees. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, round your spine to the wall behind you. Draw the ribs in and back, drop the head forward, releasing the chin deeply into the chest as if you were gazing towards your navel. Feel the tailbone tucking under, and stay here. A few rounds of breath to stretch into the back of the spine. Make space between the vertebrae there, releasing tense muscles in the back body. Feeling the breath even in the back of your lungs. Maybe the movement of those back ribs lifting and spreading just a touch. Take another exhale, completely empty out the breath. And with an inhale, take the spine the other way. Rock the pelvis forward, lift the chest. Move the spine right behind your heart, forward against the sternum. And then exhale, round back in, kind of like a seated cat-cow shape. Start to move with your own breath. breathing in and out through the nose. Inhales to lift the heart, exhales to round in. And just breathing, coming together, just to breathe and to move our bodies mindfully with awareness. Give yourself permission to slow down, even if you feel still this little bit of rush. Something there that's asking you to move fast, rush through. Let that go. A really nice kind of mantra or reminder I came into the other day. There's no time to rush. Slow it down. Let the breath get bigger, expand through the lungs. One more set so that on your next inhalation you can just come to a neutral spine. Good jobs. And from neutral spine, just walk the palms forward. Remove the block from behind, set it to the side or near the front of your mat. We'll find ourselves in tabletop shape. Wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Same movement with the spine, just a different shape. So on your inhale, pull your sternum forward between your upper arm bones. Look for extension as the belly moves down. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine and push the floor away. Use the floor to get up right between those shoulder blades. Inhale is bringing you forward, opening across the heart. That breath by now feeling a little more natural in its really deepened, lengthened state. And then the next time that you exhale, just cross your ankles from behind. Sit down so that you are in Sukhasana. That's a very common seated position. So you just work your hips back. If that isn't a good transition for you, any other transition's fine. Legs go straight out. And we're going to just bring that right heel up to the inner left thigh for Janu Sirsasana. And we're just going to take it slow. There's no rush. Reach back. Take the sits bone flesh back and apart. Angle the left leg over to the left just a touch. So bring your heel towards the left edge of your mat a bit. And bring your left hand to the floor outside of your left hip as your right arm reaches high. So left hand is down, right arm reaching. As you exhale, look down at that left foot. Reach down with that right hand. Take the inner part of the foot. You can always take your hand to the calf or the ankle or give that knee a little bend if you don't reach the foot comfortably. With your next inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Look forward. Level the chest and the shoulders. Let the left hand join the right. Reaching both hands forward, drop the head. Your right shoulder is going to tend to lift a little higher than the left. See if you can level off the shoulders here. And some of us are in a different pose than everyone else, and if you want to be here, that's fine, but everyone else has the knee down. So knee is down. Yeah. So that is actually a nice shape, but you're welcome to stay there if you wanted to. Yeah. The bottom of that right foot is pressing against the inner left thigh, gently releasing that outer right hip. Heavy into the floor as you twist over to the left just slightly. Take another breath. Empty it out. And with your next inhale, you can lift yourselves back up. Place the right palm outside of the right hip onto the floor. Sweep that left arm up as you press down into the right shin. Lift your hips off the floor and curl back. Let's find a nice little back bend here, reaching the hand towards the back wall. Touch the wall if it's close to you. Nice. Drop the head back. Can you open up across the collarbones a little more? Sit back down. Hips come down to the floor. Sweep the right leg out. Bring the left heel in. Same pose to the opposite side, and we'll set up the same way. The right hand is outside of the right hip. The left arm goes to the ceiling. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Make sure that left knee is all the way down. Then lift the gaze, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, right hand meets the left. Somewhere ankle, calf, foot maybe. And then level off the shoulders and the chest. Drop the head. Nice. Start to breathe deep, even breaths. So if you can start to let any of that mental chitter chatter start to fall away, so that the spaces between thoughts start to lengthen and widen naturally. Slowly lift yourselves up, placing the left palm outside of your left hip. Press down, lift the hips up, and sweep that right arm now long towards the back wall. Reach and touch the back wall if you're near it. And then sit back down. As you sit, bring your right foot in to meet your left foot. Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet meeting. Bring your thumbs to the inner arches and peel the inner arches apart like you're opening up a little book in front of you. And then lift up through the chest with your inhale and fold forward on your exhale, crawling the hands out. Nice. All of us will be in different shapes at this point depending on what's going on in our bodies. And be in your practice. Be at your edge. And then slowly lift yourselves up to neutral. Let your knees come in. Sweep them around. Come back to your hands and your knees. Table pose. Nice. From our table pose, step your right foot directly outside of your right pinky finger. So just sweep that right foot forward outside of your pinky. And then slide your left knee back a couple of inches until you get to your edge, and you'll know when you get there because you'll feel a sensation around that left hip. Palms on the floor. Now just come up with the chest a bit. So keep the palms there, but extend the sternum forward. Lengthen both sides of the spine, the right and left long. Nice. You're welcome to stay here, hugging that right knee into the right shoulder or dropping into the elbows if you need something a little deeper. So we'll be here for a few rounds of breath, just shedding the kind of surface layer of tension that we might be holding in the hips and in the flexors. Let's try to keep the spine long, so there's always an energy of taking your heart forward here, gently squeezing the right knee in, keeping the inner thighs active. Take another breath. Emptying out. Pressing into palms if you're on elbows. And walk that right foot towards the center of the mat. Place the right hand outside of the foot. So looks more like a traditional lunge with the back knee down. Take a big breath in here. And now on your exhale, straighten your right leg. Move your hips back. Roll to your right heel, pulling the toes towards you. Ardha Hanumanasana. This is a half splits pose. Come onto your fingertips. Again, sternum moves forward with your inhale. And as you exhale, fold down over that right leg, drop the head. Press your right heel into the floor. And then energetically drag it back towards you. Breathe into the length you're creating in the back of your legs. If it's a little deep and you're struggling, you can always bring blocks underneath your palms. And if you don't have blocks, I can deliver them to you, so just let me know. The challenge may be here for you just to breathe. Continue breathing. Nice. Bottom of right foot is going to roll back to the floor. Bring your right knee over your ankle. And then press down into your legs as you bring your palms to the top of the right thigh. Keep that left knee down for now in Anjaneyasana, hugging your legs towards midline. The back toes can stay tucked, but if you unravel them, you might just feel a little more stable. See what happens. If you're okay with it, arms reach up overhead, full Anjaneyasana. Awesome. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, hands down, right leg straight, folding in. Inhale, reach the arms up. Anjaneyasana, bending right knee over ankle. Start to wake up into the core a bit. Exhales to fold over a straightened right leg. Starting to sync up breath, movement. Inhales to Anjaneyasana. Twice more just like this. Exhales to fold. Be at your pace. You can be a little quicker, a little slower. Last one. Inhale to reach up. And exhales to fold over, straightened right leg, forehead towards the shin. Now just rock that right foot to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Right foot meets the left, top of a push-up. It's optional to set the knees down here. So your choice, set the knees down. Look forward, lower with the elbows along the ribs. As you land, point the toes, click the pinky toes into the floor. Little baby cobra, so don't think about getting up super high here. Just find what the back body can do for you to lift the chest here. Take another breath. Maybe you get a little lighter into the palms. You let the back side of your body work a little harder. The legs get a little heavier. Lower back down to the floor. Child's pose. So as you press into your knees, you'll widen them a touch. The hips move all the way to your heels. Rest your forehead to the floor and start to breathe again. Deep, even breaths. Notice what your present moment looks like. Are you bringing a lot of baggage into these moments? Thoughts about past or future? Are you using this moment as a vehicle to get something in the future, a vehicle of desire? You might find that when you look at the quality of your day, even today, you've been driven by those reaching, grasping, clinging actions. See if you can start to be led more by the heart, by your intention, by your aspirations. And you start to wake up to that whole other world within. Take another breath in child's pose. And slowly press up to your hands. Coming to table pose, left foot forward outside of left pinky. Slide the right knee back. Press down into the hands, lift the chest, melt through the hips. As you keep that left knee hugging in, maybe you soften that right hip forward and down a touch more. Maybe you come down to your elbows. Even if you come down to your elbows or if you're on your palms, keep lengthening the spine forward. 2 more breaths here. Just press up into your palms, walk the left foot to the center of the mat. And then press the hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana, straighten the left leg. Pull all 5 toes of the left foot towards you. Lengthen the spine with an inhale. And as you exhale, bend the elbows in. Try to keep the heart moving forward as you soften down. Nice. Inhale here. Melt in a little deeper. Feels like you're pulling the mat to you with that left heel. And start to move with the breath again. So we're going to bring left foot to the floor, left knee over ankle. Climb your hands to the left thigh, lifting the shoulders over the hips. Draw the navel in, the legs towards midline. Sweep arms overhead, Anjaneyasana. Pulling the sternum up, away from the pelvis as the hips melt forward and down. Take an inhale here. Ardha Hanumanasana, fold over straight left leg. Hands come down, press the hips back. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, left foot down, reach the arms up, full breath, working it into those side ribs. Exhales to fold, straight left leg, toes pull back, forehead to shin. Inhale, come forward, long breath in, reach the arms high, stretch a little taller. Exhale, slow breath out, transitioning into a deep fold over that left leg. Last one. Inhale, Anjane, arms reach up. Last, Ardha Hanumanasana. Bring the hands down, straighten the left leg and fold, hollow the belly. Inhale to bend the left knee over ankle, and exhale to step back. Inhale, long spine, heels back, look forward. Drop the knees, optional, lower, exhale. Baby cobra again, point the toes, sink those legs, 10 stories down, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, child's pose, hips go back. Nice. Widen the knees a touch more, stay here, hips heavy. Sweep your hands both over to the left into a little side bend here. Walk your hands all the way over to the left and then bring your right palm to the back of your left hand. Nice. Breathe into the right side body. So right hand just comes right on top of left, encouraging more space into the side, lateral flexion of the spine. Keep sinking that right hip heavy into the heels. And then bring the hands over to the right, sweep them all the way to the right, stacking your left palm onto the right hand, pressing down and pulling left hip back and down into the heel. Breathe. Be aware of the sensation of breath in your body. Where does it go? Where does it dissolve? Bring the hands back to neutral. Slowly press up into your hands and your knees. Tucking the toes under from behind, float the hips up and back into your first downward dog. As you arrive, take your feet as wide as your mat. And press the floor away, get really earthy into those legs, rooting down through the heels, pressing the thighs back, waking up the quadriceps, the tops of the thighs, push into the thigh bones, push into the hamstrings. Press the floor away, inner hands grounded, like you could move your mat forward with your palms, opening the chest towards the toes. Keep the breath really deep and even. And then step the feet back to neutral, hip width distance, look forward, and then take a big step to the top of your mat, toes meeting the wrists, soften the knees, and grab your elbows. Let your head fall into that space and gently sway left and then right. Relax the back of the neck. Let the crown of the head reach gently into the floor, into the forearms. The arms hang heavy from the shoulder sockets. Reconnect to the sound and the rhythm of your breath, the cadence of that breath. I believe sometimes waking up is simply a shift in perspective. Looking at things a little bit differently. Let's release the hands down, take a slow roll up, keeping those knees soft. When you arrive at standing, hands to the heart, eyes closed. And ask that, may whatever circumstances I'm in serve in the awakening of my heart. Kind of realize the power behind that aspiration, that intention. Whatever circumstances I find myself in, may they serve the awakening of my heart. Ground into the feet, turn on the legs. Open the eyes, reach high, Urdhva Hastasana. Lift through the heart. And then exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. You can bend those knees a bit if it feels right. Lengthen into a flat back, look forward. And on your exhale, step back to plank pose and lower. Elbows along the ribs as you come down, optional to hover in chaturanga or land. Take a cobra or an upward dog. Press into the toes, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dogs, hips high, thighs back. Push the floor away, reach out through those heels. Deepen the breath, full inhale here. Open the mouth, exhale. Bend the knees, look forward. And then step or float, come to the top of your mat and lengthen out, look out. Lengthen the spine, folding on your exhale, hollow the belly. Inhale to reach high, look up to the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Nice. Turn on the legs, push down to reach up. So you're rooting into the floor, reaching a bit taller, tailbone down, belly in. Take that fold. Soften knees as needed. Release the back of the neck. Flatten the back. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, high to low plank, you can choose to hover in Chaturanga Dandasana. Flip the feet and roll the shoulders deeper into the back as you expand the heart forward. On your out breath, engage your belly, pull your hips high, downward dogs. Firm the shoulder blades against the back ribs, open across the chest. Big breath in. Exhale. Knees bend, inhale, look forward. Step or float, exhale. Flat back, lengthen. And fold. Reach the arms high, press into the floor to get tall, reaching through the fingertips. Bring your hands to your heart. One more time, reach up, look up, legs strong. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, breath. Plant the palms and step back. Lower with the elbows against the ribs. Cobras, upward dogs. Push the sternum through the upper arm bones. Downward dogs when you're ready. Taking it back. Giant breath in. Breath out. Bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or float, exhale. Flatten back, inhale. And fold. Root into the feet, rise up, inhale. Nice. Hands to heart, close the eyes. 3 breaths. Tune in. So let the eyes flutter open. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a big step back with your right foot and turn to face the right side of the room. Keep your left toes as they are. So left toes stayed forward. The right toes turned out a bit. So we're finding a triangle-shaped leg prep. So legs are about 3 feet, 3.5 feet apart. Left toes forward, right toes in a tad, arms out to the sides. Big breath in, lengthen the spine, tailbone down, lift the kneecaps. Exhale, reach forward, and then drape that left hand down to a block, the left shin or the floor. Reaching out through the right fingertips, turn the gaze. See if you can bring the gaze all the way up past the right thumb, and then lean back. Imagine there was a wall behind you, supporting you. Yeah. Broaden the collarbones. Come into your breath. Spin those right ribs up a little bit more. And then rise up, strong legs. Spin on the feet to face the back wall. Pivot your right toes towards the wall behind you now. Spin the left toes in a tad. Big breath in. Exhale to reach forward and out. Grab a hold of the big toe, hand to a block or the floor. Stretch the left arm up overhead, lean back. See if you can find a little bit of a cobra action in this shape. Sternum pulling forward as you keep the belly knitting in. Spin those left ribs up, tuck those right ribs under. Another full breath in. Exhale. Look down, inhale to rise. And bring your hands to your hips. We're going to turn our toes to face the wall that we're gazing towards. So the toes are to the long edge of your mat. Elbows squeeze back. Lift the chest up. Work the spine forward into the sternum as you look high. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your palms to the mat when you're about halfway there. And imagine you could get the forehead onto the floor. So keep looking for length in the spine as you walk your hands back between your feet. At the last moment, you'll tuck your head. So think forehead down, down and then tuck. Chin into chest and reach the crown gently into the mat. Awaken the legs, spread out the toes, feel the spaces between them, and root into all four corners. You can think of your feet like two rectangles. Find the four corners of those rectangles, ground and root down. Allison, turn your toes in a little bit. Yeah, there you go. The toes should be parallel or pivoting in just slightly. That will help rotate the upper thigh bones inwards so that the sits bones can spiral up a little bit more. Invite that last bit of length into the spine, into the breath. Invite a little more space into the mind. Clear out thoughts. Nice. And then walk the hands out. As the wrists come beneath the shoulders, take an inhale. Hands to the hips, exhale completely. Elbows behind you. Inhale to rise. Come up to stand. And then turn to face the left side of the room. Step your right foot next to your left top of your mat. Nice. Tree pose. Right foot comes up to meet the inner left thigh or calf. You can bring your right hand down to help the leg come into place. Open your right knee to the right. Think about the knees coming into the same plane someday. And then take your tailbone down and press your hips forward a bit as you pull the low belly in. When you're ready to, hands to the heart, lift through the chest, take the arms overhead, Virksasana. Steady your gaze, deepen your breath. Lessons from a tree, change your perspective. Reach higher, grow taller, root down. Bring the hands back down to the heart, pause. Big breath in. And set right foot to floor, exhale. Opposite side, shift your weight into the right foot and place the left foot against the right calf, the inner thigh, maybe tucking it into the hip crease. Open the left knee over to the left side of the room as you take your tailbone down, the base of your skull up. When you're ready to, the arms can reach high. Take your gaze to a single point, your drishti, and breathe. Bring the hands to the heart and pause. Inhale. Set left foot to floor, exhale. Nice. Reaching the arms up to the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. Pour yourself forward into a fold, Uttanasana pose, dropping the head. Nice. Halfway lift, lengthen out as you look forward, and as you exhale, optional vinyasa. You can step back to downward dog or plank, moving through your flow, finding that back bend, an upward dog or a cobra, and then taking it back to your downward dog. Nice, dropping the knees down to the floor. Walk the knees forward to the wrists and sit down, if possible, between your heels for Virasana seat. If this isn't happening for your body, sit on a block. So you just widen your heels enough so that your bottom can sit right down between them. There's about a finger width distance between your outer hips and the heels. Bring your palms to your knees and just slide the flesh at the knees forward. It's going to be subtle, but it's going to feel nice. So you could stay here, hands at the thighs, close the eyes, work on releasing the quads and the knees and the ankles, the shins, or maybe you like to recline here, go into a supine position, bringing your hands to your feet. You can walk your elbows into the floor behind you and slowly lower. And you might be in some degree of this shape. Take on the healer, the role of the healer for yourself in this moment. So if you were looking to heal yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, where would this shape take you? Where would you take yourself in this very moment? One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. If you're reclined, you can slowly begin to make your way out. Just lifting up, taking your time. You'll bring your palms forward, walk your knees back. As the knees come beneath the hips, stretch your left leg back with the toes on the floor and just push that heel back for a moment. Just releases anything from the knees and the hips from the previous shape. And then set your left knee to the mat and take the right toes back and push the heel to the wall behind you. Nice. And then bring that right knee back down to the floor. Nice. So we're in table pose. We're going to take a twist from table. We're going to take the right arm up to the sky. And on your exhale, bring that right hand between your left wrist and left knee and sweep it all the way to the left side wall. Press the back of your right hand actively down to the floor. Press your left palm gently into the floor in front of the face, aiding in the twist. Now you have an option of staying here or extending that right leg back behind you. If you do decide to extend the right leg, keep the inner right leg rotating up. By the looks of it, I'm wondering if maybe it's the left leg we're supposed to be extending. Let's try the other side. Is that easier? Yes. Okay, so when you take that left leg back, nice Carrie, keep your inner left thigh rotating to the ceiling. Otherwise, you're going to topple over. So if you lift that left leg off the mat, keep kind of hugging towards midline, taking your inner left thigh up so that your hips are level. So try to keep that left in line with the right. You can bring it down whenever it feels right. So drop this hip a little bit. There you go. Perfect. You'll notice when you drop that left hip, those of us that have the leg lifted, it gives you more of a foundation to twist, so it might deepen the twist a bit. Bring that left knee back down to the floor. Left palm is in front of the face so that you can take your counter twist now. The right arm can come out and back up to the ceiling. We'll push down into your left palm, turn the chest, reach high, and set right palm to the mat. Let's take it to the other side. So we're going to take the left arm up with an inhale. And then sweep it through on the exhale, dropping the left side of the face, the shoulder down. Stay here. Maybe you just stay pressing that right palm down. Maybe you take that right leg straight back. Remember to hug that right leg in towards midline. Inner right thigh rotates up. That will help the right hip drop down. Keep that pressure in that right palm to maintain the twist, and then breathe. Empty out your breath here. Lower the right foot back down to the floor. Right knee comes into the floor. Take your counter twist as you're ready. Press into the right hand. Sweep your left arm to the sky. Reach high. And exhale, left palm down. Widen your knees wider than they went before for child's pose. Sink your hips back into your heels again. So big toes touch, but the knees getting a little wider if it's available to you. We're releasing into the groins and the hips a touch more. This also releases the low back quite a bit, the wider the knees. And so just sensing that, inviting your low back to release any tension. And then pressing into the hands. We'll take our very final flow movement. Staying with this kind of theme of slow flow and gentle, we're going to press into our downward dogs. Lift the hips up, press the thighs back. So let's bring the right foot forward between the thumbs. Spin the back heel down, warrior two. Cartwheel the arms up and around, gazing past the fingertips of the right hand. Roll the shoulders into the back. Take the head of that right thigh bone a little deeper into the floor. Nice. On your inhale, lift your right heel, keeping the toes down. Just take that heel up. Set it down, exhale. Lift the heel, inhale. Set it down, exhale. Last time, lift the heel, inhale. Exhale, set it down. Flip the right palm up for reverse warrior. Inhale. And now on your exhale, bring your right elbow to your right thigh and take that left arm long to the front wall. Turn the palm all the way down to the floor. Nice. Now we're going to move this left arm as if we were slicing through thick water, just at a diagonal until it comes outside of the left thigh. Turn the palm up with an inhale, sweep up and over. We'll do that twice more. Slice on the exhale. Inhale up and over. Exhale, slice. Take it up and over. Inhale. Exhale to come back up. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle pose. Inhale, reverse. Just twice more. Just getting into those obliques, the abs. Side angle pose. Exhale. Inhale to reverse. Last one. This time, cartwheel down to lunge pose. Place the palms on the floor. Step forward. Feet hip width distance. Grab your big toes with both fingers. So take your peacemakers to your big toes. And inhale, lengthen out through the spine. On your exhale, just pull yourself down and into that fold. Breathe. Relax the back of the neck. See if you can let the breath get a little fuller. Inhale, halfway lift, pause. Hands to the floor, exhale, stepping your right foot back. Spin the heel down, warrior two. Cartwheel up, gaze to the left. Sink into the left hip and knee a little deeper. Left heel lifts, inhale. Heel down on exhale, getting stronger with each breath. Lift on inhale. Exhale, keep that right leg strong. Lift on inhale. Set it down. Exhale, turn your left palm up, reverse warrior. Inhale, stretch up and back with those left side ribs open, side angle pose. Exhale, left elbow, left thigh, right arm extends. On your exhale, slice the room. Bring the right palm outside of right knee. Sweep the palm up and over. Inhale. Exhale to slice. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, slice. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, come up, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. Side angle pose on exhale. Deeper, fuller breaths. Inhale back. Enormous breath in. Side angle, exhale all the way out. Last time, work the side body. Inhale, up and back. Obliques strong. Exhale to cartwheel down. Step forward again. Right foot meets left. Padahastasana. Insert your hands under your feet, toes meeting the wrists. Lengthen on your in-breath. Look forward. Exhale, fold. Exhale, reach into the legs. Breathe here. Maybe rock forward a little bit into the ball mounds of the toes. Pressing your calf muscles to the wall behind you. Feel like you're pulling the thigh bones up into the hip sockets. Take your inner thighs back and apart. Nice halfway lift. Inhale, look out and release the hands. And as you exhale, just stepping back to plank pose, choosing to stay here as you press into down dog or flow through your vinyasa. So it depends on what your energy level is at this point. Feel free to hold a down dog. And we're coming into our closing hip postures. We're going to bring right knee behind right wrist for pigeon pose. Drop the left knee to the floor and then use your toes. Just toe your knee back until your left leg is extended. Lift up through the chest with an inhale. Exhale, drape yourself forward onto your forearms or crawl the arms all the way out. Drop the head. I'm going to have you lift this hip a bit. Just put a block there. Try to level your hips up there, right there. And then walk your right elbow in and forward a little bit. Right elbow in a little bit and forward a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Maybe you let that left frontal hip melt into that heel a little deeper. Slowly pressing into your palms as you come up to your hands. Take as much time as you need to come into your downward dog and just move it around. Maybe that right leg soars up to the ceiling or you let the hip open a bit. Whenever you're ready, pigeon on the left side. So when it's right for you, take that same shape. As you toe the right leg back, keep working that leg in towards midline. Yeah, the inner right thigh is slightly lifted, so you're bringing the top center of that right thigh bone down into the floor, reaching back through those toes. When you're ready to drop into your forearms, you'll come down. Finding those nice, full, even breaths. One more breath here. See if you can breathe into the whole three-dimensional aspect of the lungs. Front, sides, back. And then press up slowly. As you come up to your hands, we'll take our final down dog. So press into the floor. Take as much time as you need. Just move it around. Sway the hips side to side. Bend the knees. Sweep that leg high. Maybe you open the hip. Take it over to the right. Very nice. Drop down to the knees. Sweep the feet to the side. Come to sit down. Legs extended all the way out in front of us. You're welcome to sit on a block or roll the back edge of your mat up for our next pose, which is Paschimottanasana, forward folding. Reach back, take the sits bone flush back and apart. So you want to see if you can get to the front of those sits bones. Drawing the low back in, lift through the heart. Take the hands to the floor on either side of the hips. Press down to elongate the spine. Even if it's so subtle, there's just this little bit of a lift, reaching through the crown. Now look down at your toes. Begin to walk your hands down. You can leave your palms on the mat or grab your calves. If you reach your feet, nice. Pull the toes back towards you. Press the knees gently into the floor. And drop the head. Come into the sound of your breath. And let that breath become your teacher, that with which guides you deeper. And then slowly lift yourselves up. We're going to bring our hips towards our heels so that you're coming to the front quarter-ish of your mat. Front half is good enough. And then feet are on the floor. Reach your arms forward with the palms turned up. And take a big breath in to lift the chest. As you exhale, round your spine to the back wall. Tuck your chin deeply in and begin to lower down. One vertebra at a time. Take as much time as you need. When you arrive, sweep the arms overhead, inhale. And as you exhale, reach forward, chin pulls in, shoulder blades off the mat, curl it back up. Feel free to use your hands on the floor or the thighs if you need. Inhale, top. Exhale, curl and round. Move it back and down. Do this for yourself 3 more times. Move slowly, move mindfully. How can this moment serve your awakened heart? When you take your final descent onto your back, pull your knees into your chest. Hold your legs there, Apanasana pose. Rocking gently side to side, massaging the back, the hips, the spine. And then setting the feet to the floor near the hips. Have a hip width distance with your feet. Spread your toes and place your palms onto the mat on either side of your hips, pressing down into the hands. Stay here for your inhale. And as you exhale, tailbone tucks to pubic. Begin to peel 1 vertebra at a time off the floor into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, our bridge pose. Hips telescope up to the ceiling. As they get up a little higher, walk your shoulder blades in together on your back. Clasp all 10 fingers. Straighten the arms beneath you, pressing the pinky sides of your hands down. See if those hip points can lift a little higher as you roll your chest into your chin. Feel the back door of your heart moving up against the sternum. Push your feet down and forward to get a little more height as you take your tailbone towards the front wall. 1 more breath in. Release your hands, turn the palms up. Lower down 1 vertebra at a time until you feel the bottom back ribs come to the floor. And then set the hips down. Walk your feet wide. Let your knees fall in, teeping the knees inwards. Feet are wide. Just close the eyes. Feel the spine settle into the floor beneath you. Relax the jaw, the lips, corners of the eyes, the root of the tongue. Let's walk those feet back in for our second set. As the feet come in line with the sits bones, make sure the feet are close to the sits bones. Press your palms down, pause, inhale here. Press down into the hands, curl tailbone, exhale, lifting up. As you get some height, walk the shoulder blades beneath you, clasp all 10 fingers, float the hips a little higher. Press your heels down and forward. Find the big toe ball mound, squeeze an imaginary block between your thighs. Roll the chest up to the chin. One more time, full inhale, expand into the lungs. Exhale, release your hands, turn the palms up and lower slowly to the back ribs. And set the hips to the floor. Walk your feet wide, let your knees fall in. Start to pull the feet in, grab a hold of the big toes for happy baby. As you grab those big toes, widen the legs apart, gently pulling down. Lengthen the tailbone forward. Look for the natural curves of the spine someday coming back into the body. Chin pulls gently towards the chest. Listen for the sound of your breath. Follow that breath inwards, beneath the surface. As you release your toes, bring your knees together and drop them to the right, coming into a twist. Before you unravel your left arm to the left side wall, bring your left palm and just clasp the right rib cage. So just bring your left palm over your right ribs, fingertips kind of wrapping to those back right ribs, and then slide those right ribs to the right. Pull the right ribs out from beneath you like they could reach over to the right side of the mat a bit, and then unravel again with that left arm over to the left. And so in this way, we try to broaden the collarbones, bring more of our back body into the floor, and then let those legs get heavy. And if you need something deeper, you can always take your top thigh, left leg, wrap it over the right leg, just gently squeezing them together. Slowly unravel the legs, bring them up to center, squeeze here at midline, so just gather your legs up and into your body. And then take it the other direction. As the knees come down to the left side of the room, right hand takes the left rib, so reach your right hand across your belly over to those left ribs and slide the back left ribs, even just the flesh, to the left. So slide the left ribs out to the side of the room a little more. Now reach right arm to right and look over shoulder. If you want to take that top thigh over the bottom thigh here, deepening the twist, gently squeezing the legs together, you're welcome to do that. And with the next few breaths, you can start to bring the knees back to neutral. Gather them in, squeeze them in. And then take the legs all the way out for resting pose, Savasana. Walk the legs out. Make some space for your bodies. Feel free to take up some space. Take the arms out. Slide your shoulder blades down your back and then take your chin slightly in towards the throat. So the back of the neck is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Walk your legs out. Let the toes relax. Let the fingertips curl in. Eyes falling gently shut. And with the compassionate gaze, just start to scan. Start at the top. Go all the way down to the toes. And notice any places in your body where you're still holding or gripping or clasping. See if you can start to unravel that with your exhale breaths. Every breath out, kind of melting tension, ice to water, sinking 10 stories down. Noticing your next breath. And slowly begin to awaken your bodies. Wiggling the fingertips, the toes. When you're ready to, you can draw the knees to the chest. Just roll over to your right side. Pressing the left palm into the floor, slowly lifting yourselves up to a final shape in the seated position of your preference. You can place your towel to the back of your neck if you wish. Bring the palms together at your heart. Honestly, thank yourself for arriving here on your mat today, for carving the time out of your day for this journey inwards. In closing, I'll leave you with a short poem from Rumi. He offers this. Moonlight floods the whole sky from horizon to horizon. How much it can fill your room depends on your windows. Thank you all so much for coming and practicing with me tonight. Namaste. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Good night.
That smells so amazing.
Oh, don't you love
Was
it?
that balance?
Thank you. No, that's eucalyptus and lavender.
Yes.
Thanks, Rachel.